For the past 3 decades, Mario Kart has been the king of kart racers and set the tone for what a racing game should be. In those 3 decades, there have been many alternatives to Mario Kart that have almost or gave Mario a run for his money, with the likes of Diddy Kong Racing, Crash Team Racing, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, Mod Nation Racers, South Park Rally, Little Big Planet Karting, Jack X Combat Racing, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. You get the idea. Pretty much anybody could have a kart racing game, including the good old people at Nickelodeon. Starting with Nicktoons Racing that hit the arcades in 2000, that was pretty much like Mario Kart at your local arcade, that was eventually ported to PC and the PlayStation. Then by the mid-2010s, Nickelodeon looked to step back into the driver's seat with the release of Nickelodeon Kart Racers that was released in 2018, with its ridiculously small roster size and bland gameplay. A sequel was released in 2020 which expanded the roster and added online multiplayer, but still came up a bit short. In late 2022, Nickelodeon and Game Mill looked to get back into the race with the 3rd entry into the series. So did it hit first place on the 3rd lap, or is it time to hang up the racing gear for good? If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications as we start our engines and race through Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 SLIME Speedway. So SLIME Speedway plays like most common racing games. You accelerate with the right bumps or triggers while you drift and perform tricks with the left. You get a roster of over 40 characters from Nicktoons old and new, with different stats that can make or break your performance in the races. Then you choose either a bike or a kart where you can pick out parts with hundreds of combinations such as the wheels and the exhaust pipes, similar to Mario Kart 8. The pit crew system from the 2nd game returns and has expanded with more abilities. In the beginning of the race, you will be given a double dare, where you can complete 2 objectives during the races to earn extra coins. They range from hitting your opponents, finishing a lap in a certain place, or maybe you do a couple of tricks. To use the crew, you would have to fill up the slime meter by collecting coins or drive on slime. Each of them come with abilities that can be useful, such as getting an extra item or recovering quickly. It is best to try different combinations to determine which is the best ones to use, and you can save them in your presets. After completing a race, the amount of coins you get will be added to your bank that you can use in the garage to purchase new items. The main mode is the Slime Scramble, which is essentially the Grand Prix, where you compete in 4 races and 9 cups with a total of 36 tracks. There are 3 difficulties to begin with: slow, medium, and fast, with insane mode that can be unlocked once you complete all 3. Along with Slime Scramble, there are also time trials, challenges, and even a battle mode with different rules and objectives. Challenge mode plays similar to mission mode in Mario Kart DS, where you complete objectives and win the race, such as performing stunts or winning races without hitting any hazards. Completing these tasks can earn you crew members and additional characters. The game features a lot in the presentation department. The tracks are themed after various Nickelodeon programs such as Rugrats, Double Dare, SpongeBob, just to name a few. Some of these having callbacks and cameos from their respective shows. After 2 games, they finally gave character voices again, with most of the voice actors returning to reprise their roles, which injects a little bit of life into the game. Each of these tracks can have various twists and turns that can either help or hurt the player. Even items come from different shows that can be useful, from projectiles to even giving you a quick boost. A new addition to the game is that in certain tracks there are slime slides where by entering you are going through them in a fast pace, and you must time your jumps over the gaps. Doing so will result in a boost when you're out of the slide, and in some slides you'll actually get the maximum boost. Of course, it isn't a kart racer without multiplayer, as the game supports local multiplayer up to 4 players and online up to 12 players. Slime Speedway unfortunately has issues that I feel kinda hinders the experience of a kart racer. For starters, I feel the biggest issue this game has is its performance. For example, when starting the race, once the countdown hits the 1, there is somewhat of a slight freeze, which is something you would see normally like in lag with online matches. But I was wondering, was this because of my capture device? Was it because of the footage? As it turns out, this actually happens offline, and I was even playing it when I wasn't recording, and it was kind of a weird issue. It isn't the only issue performance-wise, as there are loads of bugs and glitches, such as not receiving items despite getting a hitbox, boosts getting delayed, and even falling through the road. While Nickelodeon and Game Mill stepped up in the presentation department, I feel that they simply copied and pasted elements from previous games and call it a day. I mean, considering half of the tracks are actually recycled. And speaking of recycled, while it is nice to hear the characters having voices, it gets repetitive real fast. I mean, do I have to hear,
"You didn't believe me. Why didn't you believe me?"
or even,
"I will do something not nice,"
every few seconds? Really? When it comes to gameplay, I feel like I have played this game already, but with a different title, and it doesn't really do enough to make it stand out from the other kart racers I mentioned earlier. and it has been nearly a year since its release, and I'm surprised there's no post-launch content other than the ones that came in the Turbo Edition, as I feel it would have added more to the game to have continued support from the community, with DLC like new tracks, new characters, new parts, you know what I mean. So, what else is there to say about Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3? Well, I could tell you that it is the best of the three, but it isn't saying much, as I feel it was a game that came up short on its potential. Especially for a brand like Nickelodeon, you would think it would have more to stand out from the rest of the pack, with the nostalgic presentation and elements you come to expect from Nickelodeon. It has the basics of what makes a kart racer, but its disappointing performance issues and lack of support makes it tough to recommend it for hardcore kart racing fans. If you have a couple of friends over or have small kids, you could probably play a race or two before you boot up Mario Kart. Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 Slime Speedway for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC gets a 6 out of 10. If you enjoyed this review, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, check out my other videos and subscribe to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching and take care. Have a good one.